hundreds of attempts by them must have been averted. But that is not to say that the one that they succeed is not important. It is important. Okay. But I believe the greatest credit of the Buhari administration, like Governor Shetima has always said, is the fact that there is that sincerity of purpose. The reason why Indeed. The governor always makes comparison is because he has related with different governments.
Okay, Mr. Gusau, you might have Mr. Gusau, I will come back. I will come back to you. I'll come back to you in a few minutes. Let me come back to the studio here in Lagos, where we have Innocent Chukwuma, a criminologist, join us. Mr. Chukwuma, you heard Mr. Gusau talk about improvement in security situation in the Northeast. He's talked about a return of confidence amongst the people and the fact that they are returning back to their former places, dwellings where they had run away from. Do you agree with him?
I think in relation to the situation in Borno State, opinion is divided. It depends on who you are speaking to. And as Issa said earlier, those who have lived longer in the state before 2015 tend to hold the view that yes, there have been significant improvement in terms of security. And there's also a lot to unpack in what Issa said. He said in 25 out of the 27 local government areas that people have returned to the headquarters. He didn't say it to the entirety of all the local areas. And you and I know that ordinary people do not live in the headquarters. So yes, the Buhari administration has done a lot in clearing the highways leading to the headquarters as compared to the situation before where Boko Haram elements held many of those highways. But in relation to the daily life of the average citizens who live in the nook and crannies of these 27 local government areas, and you have to understand Borno State, I serve there, the settlements are scattered in between. I dare say that the situation, as much as it has improved, has not returned to full normalcy for people to really go back and rebuild their life. And then for those who go to Borno and come back and see all these recent attacks, they do not believe that actually things have improved the way we are made to believe. I am involved in a recent security-related research in Borno State. I render design and technical support to them. And what the researchers came back to tell us is that not only are the people, frightened by the incremental increase in the level of insecurity, but even the security forces who are themselves deployed to the front lines are demoralized in terms of meeting their basic needs, paying their allowances, and those who got injured in the course of rendering this selfless service are sometimes left to their fate, and their families have to bring the resources to actually treat them.
But which, the federal government has said there's no element of truth to that allegation that they are not being taken care of.
We spoke to some of these people and have some of their pictures, and even in the hospitals where many of them are receiving treatment, it's left much to be desired, but it's something we can go into detail. So federal government in faraway Abuja may have released all the resources or may have been briefed that things are different. But that's why it's important from time to time to really go there and meet with these people, interact with them, and get the full details of what they are going through.
Okay, so the way things are right now, besides, yes, you've had conversations with the security operatives, personnel on ground, you've had conversations with the people. Is there no hope in sight for all of this to come to an end?
There is a hope. I think we again have to go back to what Issa said. They said prevention is better than care, and it's even more so in terrorism or insurgency. Once it has come, it creates an industry of its own. Because if you look at comparable jurisdictions in the Middle East where these things have festered and where much more resources have been deployed to tackle them, it is still not yet Uhuru. So it's something that is going to live with us for a long time to come. But what is important is, are we getting measurable improvement day by day? That is where opinion is divided, as I said earlier.
Measurable. I'm trying to get this clear. So opinions divided as regards whether we're improving by the day.
Yes.
But if you look at it holistically, it looks as if we're improving.
Yeah, again, that has to be unpacked. As I said, as of 2016, when the government really launched an offensive and took many of these highways leading to the local government headquarters, you would have expected by now they would have moved beyond the highways and local government headquarters to begin to restore life to normalcy in some of the local government areas. So to the extent that today, people are still afraid and reluctant to return to many of these LGAs. Seems that maybe at some point, things seems to be stalemated.
Is there any truth or anything to hold on to as regards the season? I mean, Issa talked about the rainy season being an advantageous season for the insurgent to come in and cause mayhem and all of that. Do you think things will change as the season winds down?
Well, that may well be true, and it's a question of detail. But looking at it dispassionately and making inferences, by 2016, we liberated many of these highways. 2 years down the line, we expect more improvement regardless of seasons. Because again, the Boko Haram elements that operate in rainy season or operate better, we have had knowledge of that for how many years now? It's like people telling us in electricity that during the rainy seasons, the dams, the water level in the dams increases, and then when you get to dry season, it drops, and then you drop. We have lived with this for how many years? We should have gotten better at responding to that. Is it equipment that is stopping them from operating effectively during rainy season? Can we address that? Is it personnel morale that makes people not to go out there during the rainy season to fight these elements?
All right, Mr. Chukwuma, we'll take a moment. When we'll come back, we'll get back to Mr. Gusau to tell us what the morale of the people is like as regards returning to the interiors. Please join us again.